The materials are also set up so that you can process them easily. The idea is that you should be able to create these handles with simple means. This means you can just take a bucket, mix resin and hardener together, add some paste, and pour your handle. You don't need expensive equipment for this, so you can actually get started right away. In addition to the performance of the material, we also need to adjust the products so that they are easy for you to process. This means that the isocyanate in the light color tends to crystallize. That means if you receive material from us in winter, it will be on the truck, cold, crystallized, and you will have to remelt it, which is inconvenient. Therefore, we also had to adjust this isocyanate component, for example, so that it is simply storage stable. However, this does limit us a bit in terms of properties. The polyol is also about being tough and abrasion resistant. Typically, raw materials that are inherently very tough are used. You want it to be relatively fluid, so that it flows nicely into all the holes and contours. That means we also need to dilute that a bit. This is how one of our products is set up to achieve a perfect result, both in performance and also simply for you in processing. The temperature is, for example, quite important for the polyol as it directly affects the viscosity. This means that if it is very cold in your workshop, around 10-15 degrees, it will also become relatively viscous and will not flow well. One can also see the differences in viscosity. The polyol is thicker than the isocyanate. That means we actually want to have two products or two components that are approximately the same thickness and that can mix nicely together. You can also preheat it if you like. Then you can also play a bit with the reaction time. So optimal, we always say, is room temperature, between 20 to 23 degrees. You can also preheat the polyol to 30, which has various advantages in the curing process. But otherwise, in the heated workshop where you would also feel comfortable, the material feels comfortable as well. However, a bit of temperature is needed for the reaction. This means, as we have already mentioned, that the molds must be warm, the material shrinks and pulls away from the cold surface. Additionally, at some point, the molecules no longer find each other. So in the last corners, when it is already hard and viscous, it is no longer movable. Therefore, the handle should simply be placed back in the oven and baked again to slightly increase the mobility of the molecules, allowing the remaining ones that can still move to find each other, ensuring that the handle is 100% cured. In the polyol, there are different components included. For example, there is also a drying agent in it, which is why the whole mixture appears somewhat whitish. The drying agent is used to prevent the absorption of moisture or humidity in general, which would cause the product to start foaming. When you look at your mattress at home, it's foam. The same thing has happened there. Water has been deliberately added, and then a side reaction occurs that releases CO and causes it to foam. So what do? We simply add the drying agent, which removes the water that is available in the air. Exactly that. Can settle. This means before processing, please stir the polyol. If you add color, you do that anyway. In the buckets, it is relatively easy because all the measurements are included. If you are working with large containers, such as barrels or IBCs, you definitely need a mixer, as you cannot reach the bottom at all. And usually you don't dye 1000 kilos in red, but you always take out a certain amount, dye that, and continue working with it.